Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster. Today's class we will focus on a Vinyasa flow that ends in a shoulder stand and goes into a little optional bridge pose from there. So bring your hands together in front of the heart and take a moment here, sit up nice and tall and set an intention for your practice. And then we'll roll forward and just sit back onto your heels in Vajrasana or Virasana, the hips between the heels. Or if you have a blanket or a block, you can sit on that. If this hurts your knees, put a blanket between the backs of the thighs and the calves. If it still hurts, sit in a different position. Sit up nice and tall, lift your chest, inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up, spinning the triceps forward. Don't let your ribs pop out in your low back arch, so draw the front ribs in and lengthen through the back of your body. And then exhale, arms back down. Again, inhale, palms face up, sweep the arms out, around, and up. Watch the shoulders not going too much by the ears, but then don't press them down really hard either. You want to find a nice, happy medium. Keep stretching through the arms, but keep the arms in the shoulder sockets. And then bend your elbows and touch your palms toward your upper back. As you do that, lift your elbows straight up and spin your triceps, your outer upper arms forward. So you wrap them forward toward the front of the mat. Inhale to reach the arms. Exhale, take your arms halfway down and now flex your wrists. So point your fingers up toward the ceiling. Imagine you could point your fingers all the way toward your arms. And then go the other way. Point the fingers down and imagine you could touch your wrists with your fingers. So you're really moving those wrists. Inhale and take your hands behind you. Either press your fists behind you or your palms. Roll the shoulder heads back. Inhale, lengthen. And keep lifting the chest, drawing the shoulder blades down. Watch again that the ribs didn't pop out. And continue to draw the shoulder blades toward the waist and relax around your neck. One more breath. And then release it. Inhale. Take your left hand behind you with your right hand. Just hold on to that elbow and scooch that hand up toward your neck any amount. And then take your right arm up and back and clasp your hands or hold on to your shirt. So the right arm again is straight up with the triceps spinning in. The left shoulder is rolling back. So the left arm is just like we did before when we did our hands behind the back in fists or prayer. And the right arm is like we did when we had both hands touching the upper back. Release. Right hand behind, take your left hand to the bottom of your elbow and scooch it up any amount. And then take your left hand up and around and spin the tricep forward as you roll the right shoulder head back. Keep length in the back body and continue to draw the front ribs in. Your shoulder blades are moving toward your chest, helping to open the front of the body. And we'll release that. And make your way into downward facing dog. Arms, shoulder distance, feet hips width, and then just bicycle your legs for a few breaths. Bend the knees, get your hips way up in the air, stretch back, and take the heels toward the floor. Stretching back, lengthening the spine, lift the belly, and breathe, gaze between the knees or the feet. Make sure to spread your fingers wide, press down into the base of the fingers as you lift up your forearms. And you're pressing the weight up to the hips and then stretching it down toward the heels. If you can straighten the legs, keep them engaged. To look forward, step feet to hands. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Take an exhale, fold forward, bend the knees a little if you can feel it in your low back. Press down through the feet. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, hands to heart, Samastitihi. Inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up. Exhale, folding in, hinge from your hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back, plank pose, and lower chaturanga to the floor. Untuck the toes, press all your toenails down. Inhale for cobra. Pull the hands toward the back of the mat. Bring the chest forward, widening the collarbones. Maybe come up a little bit higher if you like. And then tuck the toes, make your way into down dog. And again, arms, shoulders distance apart, feet hips width. And gaze between the knees or the feet and keep your steady breathing. Look forward, step or hop on your inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold forward, keep your belly lifted. Inhale, press through the feet, rise up, look up and lengthen. And exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinging from your hips, fold all the way in. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, and step to plank, chaturanga. Hug your elbows in, shoulders no lower than the elbows. Inhale, up dog, thighs and knees off the floor if you're an up dog. If not, take cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Again, stretching back. Try and focus on lengthening the spine in this posture, as well as keeping the breath steady. Look forward, step or hop your feet up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hips over heels, folding. Inhale, root down, rise all the way up. And exhale, Samastitihi. And inhale again, sweep the arms. Exhale, hinge from your hips, keep your spine long as you fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or float into chaturanga. Inhaling, roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale, make your way into downward dog. We do the down dog a lot because it lengthens out the spine. It's also a gentle inversion where your head is lower than your heart, and there's all wonderful benefits to inversions. Right leg up, inhale, bend the knee and open up the hip. Press evenly through the arms. Try and reach your left heel toward the floor. Inhale, square off your hips and step it up. Take your back foot flat, making your way up with your right hand in front of the right foot and lift your left arm up. So if your hand doesn't reach the floor, take right forearm to thigh or grab onto your ankle. But try and gently press against that front knee so the knee's right over the second toe. Back hip forward, press into the heel, come up into warrior two. Gaze over your fingertips. Lift your chest. Let your shoulder blades draw down gently toward the waist. Take the left arm back, reverse your warrior. Exhale to bend the knee. Inhale, come up, windmill the arms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale to press up, roll the shoulder heads back. Exhale, make your way into your down dog. Left leg up, bend the knee, open up your hip, pressing again evenly through the arms and your shoulders. Reach your right heel toward the floor, stretch out that leg. And then square off your hips, step the foot all the way up, back foot is flat. Coming into side angle, so left hand to the inside of the left foot, a little variation, right arm straight up. Try to gently press your left arm into the knee, and if it doesn't reach the floor, if you have a yoga block, you can always use that, or just keep forearm on thigh. Or hold the ankle, sometimes a little bit of lift that way works. Shoulders are in line, reach the crown of your head forward. Press into the front heel, inhale, warrior two. Extend out through the arms, back arm as high as the front arm. Inhaling and exhaling, nice equal breaths. And reverse your warrior on an inhale. Rebend the front knee on an exhale. Next breath in, come up, exhale, cartwheel the arms down, come to plank, move through your vinyasa, or you can skip it and go right into downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take your big toes with your first two fingers, lengthen, inhale, and fold Padangusthasana, exhale. So try to keep your legs straight here if you can. If you are straightening the legs, pull up on the kneecaps, firm the quadricep muscles, shift your hips over your heels. So a little bit shifting the weight to the balls of the feet. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, walk yourself back out into downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg back and up. And exhale, bring it forward. Bring the leg right in toward the belly, shoulders over the wrists, press away from the floor, and then lightly step it up by your right hand. Staying on the ball of your back foot, come to crescent pose. Pull the right hip back, send the left hip forward, drop your tailbone down. Take your arms to a T. Bring your right arm over the left and wrap, or take your hands to your shoulders if the wrapping doesn't work. Try to touch the backs of your hands together. Lift your elbows up and draw your shoulder blades down. And then gently leaning back, finding this opening in the upper back, but keeping the belly lifted. So we want to keep less arching in the low back, more movement in the upper back, which is harder, I know. Inhale, release. Bring the hands down through chaturanga. Inhaling up. And exhaling back. Float your left leg up on the inhale. Exhale. And draw it in, holding your leg right in towards your belly. Rock your shoulders over the wrists. Lightly step it up. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Come to high lunge, crescent pose. Dropping the tailbone down, lifting the hip points up. Lengthen through the back body. Take your arms out to a T, left arm over right. And Garudasana arms. You can touch the shoulders if it doesn't work to cross, with your palms touching or your backs of the hands touching. And then start to lean back as you lift your elbows up. And try and lift the chest and allow your collarbones to widen and your shoulder blades to move in toward your chest. Release back to center. Take the hands to the mat. And move through your vinyasa or skip it and go right into down dog. Stretch back and lengthen. Back to your steady breath. Remember, you can always push pause and rest. Look forward, step or hop the feet. Inhale and lengthen your spine, belly in. Nice long spine, pull the shoulders toward the waist. And then take your arms out to the sides and press your fists or your palms together behind you. Keep lifting the tips of your shoulders up. And then exhale, fold forward any amount, but lift the shoulders. Then bend the knees, coming into Utkatasana with the hands behind. Lifting the chest, widening the collarbones. And then add the arms up and come to standing, Samastitihi. Bend your knees and reach up. Weight is in the heels. Exhale, folding in. Hips over heels. Lengthen on your inhale. Exhale, step or float. Chaturanga. Inhaling, press up through the hands and feet. Exhaling, all the way back into down dog. Float the right leg up on your inhale. And then we want to keep the hips level this time. Don't let it open. Take the right foot forward. Stand the ball of the back foot for crescent. Pull the right hip back. Lengthen through the back body. Drop the tailbone down. Now bring your hands to the heart. Open up your chest. Lean over your front thigh. Walk your back foot in a little bit. When you feel steady, pick up the back leg, lifting it from the inner thigh. You can take your arms by your sides. Reaching out is a little easier, or arms up by the ears. Drop your outer left hip down and slowly come back into crescent pose. Reach the arms up and then exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Chaturanga. Inhale, press up, open the front of the body. Exhale, stretch back. Left leg up, so make sure the hip does not open. So if you lift it from the inner thigh, drop the outer hip down. That's how we'll keep the hips level. Step it forward. Stay on the ball of the back foot, crescent pose. And I have to practice those level hips in our Warrior 3, which is really not very easy. Hands to heart, hover over the front thigh, step up on that left foot, and lift the right. Drop the outer right hip down. Draw the left hip in toward the midline. Arms by your sides. You can also reach them forward. It's a little more difficult. Hands back to heart. Come into crescent pose slowly. Reach up through the arms and exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Come back into down dog. Take a rest if you want one. I'm coming down for child's pose for a moment. You can stay longer. Come back to your steady breathing. If it's hard to come back to steady breath, then rest. Look up, step or hop the feet up. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach up, sit back. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale again, bend the knees. Chair pose, up with the arms. Exhale and fold forward, hips over heels. Inhale, lengthen your spine, chest forward. Exhale, step or float back into chaturanga. Inhale, open up the front of the body. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, step it through. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Come to crescent. Reach your triceps forward. Spin them forward as you stretch up through the arms. Exhale the arms out. Take your hands behind you again. Either press your palms or your fists. And then lean over that front thigh again. And step up onto the right foot, Warrior 3. Drop the outer left hip down. Lift the inner left thigh up. Chest is forward. Shoulder head's lifted. And draw your right hip in toward the midline. Stretch through the back leg. And then slowly bend the front knee. Set it down back into crescent. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Open the front of the body. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Rise up to crescent. Reach up tall. And then arms out. Either press the fists or the palms together. Roll the shoulder heads back and hover over the front thigh. Lift your right leg from the inner thigh. Drop the outer hip down. Draw the left hip in. Keep the chest reaching forward and stretch through the back leg. Pull the front ribs in. Pull the belly in. Keep weight in the base of the big toe of the left foot. Firming the calf toward the shin on the left leg. Slowly set yourself back down into crescent. Arms reach. Exhale, hands to the mats, and move through your vinyasa. Plank pose. And exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind you for Shalabhasana. Tailbones reaching toward the heels. Inhale, peel your chest up, lift your legs. Lift the inner thighs up. Reach through the toes. Tailbones reaching toward the heels, hip points lifting toward the low ribs. Your pubic bone presses down a little. And then lower. And rest. And again, other pinky on top, interlacing the fingers. You can also hook the thumbs here. Inhale, lift up, lift the legs. Inner thighs are spinning up toward the ceiling. You could also hold a towel between your hands or a strap if you want to get in a little bit deeper, if the shoulders are kind of tight. Breathe into the chest, pubic bones pressing down lightly, hip points lift. Release, take a rest. And then arms by your sides. Bend your knees. Take your feet from the outside, the pinky toe side. Inhale, press up. and start to stretch your legs back as your collarbones widen and you expand through your chest. Keep the belly pulled away from the floor and keep lengthening the tailbone. Come on down and take a rest. And bend the knees again. Take the pinky toe sides of the feet and lift up. Press the feet back. Lengthening here. Tailbones extended toward the backs of your knees. And lower and rest. Inhale and press up into up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. Look forward and come to seated, stepping or hopping. Lie back. So we're going to come into a bridge pose first, or nope, right into shoulder stand. So here we go with just the legs up. And this is a wonderful position if you're not taking shoulder stand today. If you have neck issues, back issues, ladies vacation, high blood pressure. If you want to go in a little bit deeper, you'll lift your legs and support your low back with your hands, but you're kind of on an angle. You're not trying to press straight up. If your neck's okay and everything is pretty good, you can walk your hands down toward your shoulders and try to press up a little bit straighter. But keep the chin away from the chest. And ideally, we try to line up the hips over the shoulders. Bend the knees. This is very optional. Taking the feet to the floor in a bridge pose. This is a lot on your wrists. And it's kind of a bigger opening in your upper back than your usual bridge pose. So only do it if it feels like your back is ready for it. And then to come out of it, one leg and then the other, back up into your shoulder stand or shoulder stand variation. And then take the feet and roll them down. And then we'll just take a regular bridge pose. So lift up and roll the shoulders under. So we'll do one more. So again, legs straight up is one variation. That feels really nice, and it's a lot of work actually. Or lifting up, hands will support and you're not so straight. Or maybe you take the legs all the way over into halasana first and then lift up into a full shoulder stand. If it hurts your neck, just come down. If it hurts your back, come down. Don't even do it. Squeezing the legs gently toward each other. Inner thighs are spinning toward the front of the mat. And then splitting the legs, maybe coming down into that bridge pose. And again, attempt the bridge pose only if you've got a pretty strong back bend. Otherwise, stay with your variation of shoulder stand. This is just an option. We don't have to do it. And then lifting one leg and the other back up into shoulder stand. Take the legs into plow pose if you're in shoulder stand. And then we'll all start to come down. So whatever variation you are in, begin to roll yourself down slowly. And bring your hands right next to your hips or slightly underneath them to protect your low back. Coming down with control. And then press into your elbows and your forearms and lift your chest right up off the mat. And reach the crown of your head back for Matsyasana, fish pose. Breathe into the chest. If this bothers your neck in this position, then come down onto the back of your head and skip it. And then release. Draw your knees into your chest, gently rocking side to side. Roll yourself back and forth, up and down the spine, and we'll come up to seated. Soles of your feet together, knees apart for Baddha Konasana pose. Sit up nice and tall. Feel free to sit up on the edge of a blanket to lengthen your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips forward. If you don't have a blanket and you want to lengthen your spine, take the back of your mat, roll it up, and sit on the edge of that. That works just as well. Keep the spine nice and long, leading with the chest. And then inhale to come up. Extend the legs in front of you into Dandasana. Inhale the arms up, flex the ankles. Exhale, hinge from the hips forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and coming forward into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, head up. Exhale and release. Take your right ankle just past your left knee. Bring your hands through and hold on to the left leg, the shin, or behind the thigh. If you want to take a variation of thread the needle, that's fine too. You can extend your left leg up or cradle the right leg in your arms. And then you're just going to take both legs off to the left and look over your right shoulder. And keep the legs as they are, or you can cross the right knee on top of the left, or you can just rest your right knee on top of your left knee. Inhale back to center. Left ankle just past the right knee, flex your ankle. Hold on to the right leg. And then take the legs off to the right, looking left, and cross the left knee of the right or left knee on top of the right, or keep them how they were. Inhale, center. And reach your tailbone towards your heels. Extend the legs out. Take them hips width apart or a little bit wider. Bring your arms by your sides with your palms up. Take a few moments to get really comfortable. Once you're comfortable, allow yourself to just relax. Quiet mind, quiet body. Shavasana. As you're resting here, we've been studying the 8 limbs of yoga, and we've gone through the first 2 limbs over the last 10 classes or so. The third limb is asana, and asana is the postures that we practice. And we're all familiar with the asana practice because that's what we do a lot of here. The asana practice is very important to keep our bodies healthy. And some of us, including myself, may have started the asana practice because we wanted to look good, have a good body. But I like to say, come for the vanity and stay for the sanity. As you continue your asana practice, your mind gets quiet, your body gets healthy and strong, and we learn that we can feel better in our skin, maybe even meditate. Oh, let's reawaken the body, bend the knees, roll to your right side, pausing for gratitude for all of our blessings, especially our wonderful bodies. And then come on up to seated. And bring your hands together. We'll bring our hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. And our hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Let's send out this wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste. I hope I get to see you again tomorrow. where we will have another flow class. And if you liked our class today, please push the like button and subscribe and share and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And if you can afford a donation of any amount, there is a link below. It's a donation through PayPal. It helps us to continue our mission of getting yoga out to as many people as possible, because we really believe if more people practice yoga, the world would be an even better place. If you can't afford a donation and you ever shop on Amazon, go to fightmasteryoga.com. There's a Amazon picture on the front. You can click it, shop there. It doesn't cost you anything more. Bye.